it's Carol again. Welcome back. We're doing a video for round bodies. This time the focus is on making space for our bellies. Let's get started. Today's video, the props that we're going to be using are the bolster that you see in behind the mat here, a chair, and a couple of blocks. You may not need a chair, but I like to give this as an option because it feels nice for my body when I'm doing lunges and forward folds and some other things. So have a chair handy if you'd like to, a couple of blocks as an option, and we'll get started. We're going to start in Tadasana again today, pressing into the four corners of your feet, hugging your legs together, really stacking your rib cage over your hips. Your arms are maybe gently down by your side. Long neck, long spine. Reach out through the top of your head. And on your inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling, and their exhale, lowering them down. Nice, big, wide exhale. Again, this is a really great way to honor bellies as they take part in this practice. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhaling, arms are going to come up. Exhale to arms wide. Maybe last time, inhale, arms are going to come up towards the ceiling. This time reaching over with your left hand, grabbing your right arm. We're going to do a side bend here. This time reaching up towards the ceiling. The right hip is exaggerated out to the side. Arms are over to the left. Come on back up through the center, switch your grip up at the top and start to shift your hips out to the left. Arms are over to the right this time. Long spine here as well, long neck, so make sure your shoulders aren't shrugging up towards your ears. Nice, long spine. And then come on back up through the center. This time, arms are going to be wide. Nice big T shape as you breathe in, really expanding across the chest, opening up everything, really welcoming this yoga space today. Gently lower your arms down to your side. We're going to come back up, arms up coming halfway. We're just going to do some twists here. So as we bring our arms up towards the ceiling, on an inhale, we're going to exhale and twist towards the left. So some awareness in your belly here. You may not need too much shifting or adjusting. Arms back up towards the ceiling, this time twisting towards the right. Again, really connect with your belly, the shape as it twists. Back up towards the center, one more to each side. Up towards the center. Last time, over to the right. And then inhale, arms back up towards the center, really reaching up towards the sky. Long body, top of your head down to your toes, gentle arch in your back, and then just let your arms drop down to the side. Give them a bit of a shake out. I'm going to face towards the chair. We'll start with the chair today. If you want to bring a chair to the front of your mat. I'm going to inhale, arms are going to come up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then exhale to forward fold. So we'll start with the forward fold, reaching down towards the mat. You can reach down towards the chair that's in front of you or shift back a little bit, fingertips down towards the mat. And here I want you to think about your belly, maybe reaching underneath, folding it over as you fold forward. It gives you a little bit more space to engage with this forward fold. You can come on up halfway, maybe placing your hands on your shins, nice long spine. And then forward fold. This time I'm going to forward fold, bringing my hands back down towards the mat. I'm going to step a little bit closer to my chair and then step my right foot back into a lunge. So nice long lunge here, front foot, pressing into the mat, the knees stacked over the ankle, pointing over the second and third toe of your foot. Reach out through that back heel. Your feet are on train tracks, not a tightrope. Long spine, long neck. Hang out here for just a breath or two. If you want to shorten the lunge a little bit, you're welcome to, because we're going to be shifting our weight onto our right hand here. And then twisting towards the left. So you may want to, again, adjust the tissue a little bit, reaching down, moving your belly tissue away or up and over your thigh, giving you space to twist to the left. I'm going to switch to the other side so you can see what's going on here. Pressing into the foot, knee is over the ankle. I'm going to just sort of adjust my knee out to the side a little bit, move some tissue around so that I can do this nice twist. Hang out here for a breath or two. And then reach that hand back down towards the chair. Step your back foot forward. We're going to switch sides. Long leg, reaching out through the heel. Find that beautiful firm foundation. Hug your legs together. Now reach out tall. Again, shift your weight back onto your left hand this time, twisting towards the right. Adjust your belly, move some tissue around if you need to do it. And then bring that hand back down towards the chair. Step your back foot forward. Maybe come forward into another forward fold. Widen your stance if you need to make some more room for your belly and your torso. Let gravity draw you down towards the mat. Maybe draw some circles on the mat with your fingertips. And then come on up halfway again. Hands on your shins, long spine. Forward fold back towards the chair. We're going to step that left foot back again. Nice foundation here. Before you go any further, really find your shape. Press into your feet. Reach out through that back heel. Hug everything together. Draw your legs together sideways and into a scissor shape. Really engaging those muscles. Long spine. Shift your weight onto your right hand. We're going to start to twist back towards the left. One more time over here. And then bring that hand back down towards the chair. Step your back foot forward and send your left foot back. So one more time over this side. Couple of breaths before shifting your weight onto the left hand and starting to twist to the right. Move your tissue, belly out of the way. Shift and adjust, however you need. Bring that top hand back down towards the chair. Step your back foot forward. And again, take just a breath or two in a forward fold. Maybe widen your feet a little bit. I always just kind of shuggle my legs around a little bit, making some space for my belly. Reach down towards the mat if it's close enough today, or just dangle here. Bend deeply into your knees and come on back up to standing. Inhale, arms coming up nice and high. And then exhale, reaching your arms down gently to your sides. Very nice. I'm going to set the chair aside for our next couple of poses. I'd like you to join me at the long edge of your mat. So shift your focus to the long edge of your mat instead of a short edge. Widen your feet nicely on the mat. I like to use a guideline of my wrists over ankles, but find a stance that feels good for your body today. And then shift your right toes so they're facing towards the short edge of the mat, and your left toes so they're angled in just a little slightly. Bend into the right knee, reaching your arms out into warrior two. Nice warrior two here. Look out over those front fingertips, maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle, and then stack your right elbow on your right knee, left arm up towards the sky. And again, if you need to adjust your belly tissue to make some room for this side angle, do that. Couple of breaths. And then just windmill your arms back up into warrior two. Breath or two here. And then gently lower your hands down to the side and adjust your toes so that both sets are facing towards the long edge of your mat. We're going to be doing a nice wide-legged forward fold here, starting with shifting your hips out behind you, sit bones pointing out to the back, long spine. I'm going to grab a block, place it in the front of the mat, reaching down towards the block in front. This may be enough for you today. If it's available, you can reach your hands back down towards the mat. But either is fine. This is a beautiful pose. Wide-legged poses give us some extra space for bellies and torsos. So let gravity do some of the work and enjoy this forward fold. If you need to adjust, adjust. Couple of breaths here. You can have a little bend in your knees if that feels better for your practice, or have your hands up on your thighs. And then when you're ready, bend deeply into your knees and come on back up to standing with a nice big inhale up towards the ceiling, and then wide arms to exhale. Shift your left toes towards the short edge of your mat. Angle your right toes in just a little bit. Bend into that left knee. Come back into warrior two. Couple of breaths. And then stack that left elbow on the knee, right arm up and over. And then slowly float your arms back up to warrior two. Gently lower your hands back down to your side. Angle your toes for another wide-legged forward fold. As you inhale, sit your hips back, folding at the hips, keeping your spine and neck long, pressing your feet into the mat, hugging your legs together like you're trying to draw them together on the mat, really pressing down into the earth, reaching up through your hips, out through the top of your head. You can stay here at the block, lower down towards the mat, but feel free to adjust and move your belly to fill this space. Bend deeply into your knees as you come on back up to standing. Nice big inhale, arms coming up. And then as you exhale, we're gonna shift those toes back over to the right. So right toes to the short edge, left toes angled in just a little bit. Arms back up into warrior two. We're gonna drop the tailbone down a little bit, wrapping our glutes down just a little bit, lengthening into the spine a little bit further. Keeping your arms wide, start to twist your torso towards your front bent knee. Arms are gonna be wide. So we're adding another little twist again if you need to adjust your belly, moving the tissue up and over your hip or thigh if need be. Nice wide arms, and then reaching up towards the sky into warrior one. Sometimes when I pop up into warrior one, I pop my knee up a little bit. So maybe dip a little lower into that bend, really reach your arms up high. And then shift back gently into warrior two. A couple of breaths. Lowering your hands back down towards your side, shifting your toes one more time towards the long edge of the mat for our last wide-legged forward fold. On your next inhale, again, sit your hips back behind you, lengthen your spine as you lower down towards the block or the mat in front of you as you forward fold. If you need to make any room, adjust the belly. Again, this forward fold gives us lots of space to honor the belly, so this is a wonderful way to engage. Just another breath or two here before bending deeply into your knees, coming on back up to standing. Again, inhaling, arms are going to come up. And as you exhale, come into warrior two, left toes short edge, right toes angled in. Bend in the left knee. Arms reaching out. And arms wide, start to twist the torso towards your left bent knee. Maybe making some space for your belly if you need it. Keeping your arms wide for a breath before drawing them up towards the sky. Bend deeply into your knee, arms reaching tall, shoulders stay away from your ears. And then gently shift back into warrior two. And then gently lower your arms back down towards your sides. Shift your toes back towards the long edge. And then you can either heel toe your feet back together or hop if you'd like. That's an option for you as well. And then when you're ready, come on up to the or to the short edge of your mat again. So come up to the front of your mat. We're going to bring another prop into this practice, bringing the bolster just to lie across sort of the top edge of your mat. Give yourself some space at the top. And then you're going to stand just in behind your bolster a little bit. We're going to take a couple of breaths here in Tadasana, so feet are hip distance apart. If you need it to be a little bit wider, or if your hips are feeling more edges of your mat distance apart, that works as well. Inhale, arms are going to come up. And then again, exhale to forward fold, giving yourself that space by widening your feet, lifting up the tissue, folding it over as you fold forward down towards the mat. Take a breath in this forward fold. Maybe drop your head down low. Let gravity help you out a little bit here. And then come on up halfway. Hands on your shin, nice long spine. Take a breath here. Maybe even reach your arms out in front for a little bit of a breath. And then forward fold, back down towards the mat. This time pressing your hands into the bolster and just coming down into a tabletop. We're going to hang out in this tabletop just for a breath or two. You can cat-cow here just for a little bit. Then shift your knees back a little bit and start to shift your weight over your shoulders onto the bolster. So your rib cage is coming towards the bolster and then gently resting on it. Elbows can be on the bolster, and we're going to come into a Sphinx Pose. Take a couple breaths in your Sphinx. Press the pelvis into the front of the mat, the tops of your feet into the mat. If this is too much of a back arch for you today, you can even bring your elbows down to the mat in front of you for another breath or two. And then bring your hands back up to the bolster. Start to press yourself up and away and back into Child's Pose. Widening your knees to the outer edges of the mat, tucking your toes in till they touch, sitting your hips back on your heels, and then reaching forward with your hands. Forehead can come down to the mat. It could even come down to the bolster that's here. I also like to come down onto my elbows in Child's Pose. This feels nice for my shape. Find a Child's Pose that feels really good for you today. Take a couple of breaths in this Child's Pose. And then press yourself back up into a tabletop pose. So from child, start to shift onto your knees. And then we're going to just come down onto our hips. So from tabletop, sit back onto your hips and then shift onto your back body for our last few moments. If you still have your bolster on the mat, you can step your feet over the bolster, lower yourself back onto the mat. This is one of my favorite iterations of a resting shape at the end of a practice. Knees up, feet flat. Bolster is nice to be a little bit supportive. While you're in your constructive rest, start to bring your attention to your breath as it enters in through your nose. Follow it into the back of your throat, down into the rib cage, and maybe into the belly. You might want to have your hands on your belly for this part of your practice as you inhale, feeling your belly expand. And then as you exhale, feeling the air press out. Another few inhales and exhales, filling up the belly with air. And then come to resting in the most comfortable resting shape for your body. If this constructive rest works nicely, if you want to explore Savasana with legs long, arms long at the side, Take up as much space as you need, maybe wide star shape. Thank you for joining our class today. We'll see you next time.